I've been creating content for 15 years, like 15 years, I'm very, very old. But up until a year and a half ago, I had never made a video of myself talking to camera. For my entire career, I had been creating content for businesses and brands, and I wanted to start doing it for myself, but the thought of talking to the camera gave me the dry book, which is like a Northern Irish phrase for being sick in your mouth. But I knew if I wanted to get good at this and get results, I would have to be good at talking to the camera. So these are some of the truly unhinged things that I did to level up my talking to camera video. We'll start off kind of tame. I would make sure I was physically comfortable when I was recording content. I would always record in my house, maybe on my sofa, in my bed, where I felt at ease, because when your nervous system is relaxed, you're going to be able to be more conversational. I would make sure nobody could hear me in my house recording. Now we're going to start getting progressively a bit more nuts. The next thing I would do is shake myself before recording. I would jump up and down on the spot, or like shake my arms and legs to kind of shake the anxiety out of my body. You know, kind of the way an athlete would do before they would run like a 100-meter sprint, or like a boxer would do before they go into a fight where they're bobbing from one leg to the other. Kind of like that. So I guess I'm kind of like an athlete. Okay, we've gone in, so let's keep going. The next thing I would do, this is a bit nuts, I would press the record button, and before I started recording my content, I would say something really repetitive over and over and over again. I would often recite the Lord's Prayer over and over again, not because I'm religious, but because it's something I know how to say over and over again. This helps because sometimes when you press the record button, you can automatically go into freeze mode. So recording and then delaying and then saying something familiar and repetitive can kind of loosen you up, I think anyway. Okay, next one. I often tell people to imagine you're talking to a friend when you're creating content, because that way you're going to sound conversational. But this can sometimes be hard to do. So I always make sure I'm recording with my front-facing camera so I can see a person. But in the main place where I record, in my bedroom, I have a picture of my husband behind my phone, and I imagine I'm talking to him. And then this one is less unhinged, but it's just kind of practical. When I started out, I would make sure all of the sentences were really short. I would only speak in short sentences and record a sentence at a time. And something I still do now is when I'm feeling a bit kind of rusty, before I record content, I will leave one of my best friends a voice note, usually my friend Neve. I will just tell her what I'm doing in my day or rant about something, and that kind of loosens me up to get into the talking to camera mode.